Is it true that we can see right through one another without saying a single word? The energy that is flowing flows, and because life is on a spectrum, I know that our ability to experience energy also falls on a spectrum. Some of us are more in tune than others. Some of us can feel the subtle energetic changes like a gazelle who anticipates danger. I didn't believe it until it happened to me. You see, my heart was blocked for half of my life. I felt emotions, but I made every effort to bottle them up. But after hearing so many stories, people bearing their souls to me through my line of work, there were so many emotions coming out of them, some that seemed familiar but also not. I would sit in awe as I witnessed the range of emotions on their faces. And then there were the stories of people falling madly in love. The intensity of their experiences continued to seem foreign to me, and so made it harder for me to believe or connect with. I would simply nod as if I understood, but really I was left wondering if I would ever experience that type of intensity with anything for that matter. Isn't that funny? Here I was, a newborn therapist with knowledge of emotions, yet I had not tapped into all of mine by then. So when I fell in love for the first time at 40, it was noticeable. Words cannot describe this unique experience that I even questioned because I was not familiar with it. It seems like a foggy memory now, blurry and almost unreal. I remember telling him my head felt fuzzy. It had been feeling fuzzy for a while, and I attribute it to the energetic changes that were occurring within me as a result of this so-called spiritual awakening. I remember this heightened awareness of the beauty all around me. Everything was brighter, as if nothing was created incorrectly. It was on that drive to Palm Springs when I first noticed it. My ability to read his mind without him saying a word. He was driving my car and telling me stories. And this one story he was sharing, I immediately knew what he was going to say and how he was going to say it. I couldn't help myself. I started laughing before he even finished because the image of him in his story had already unfolded in my head. I remember he turned to look at me surprised as to why I was already laughing before he shared the punchline. But his unspoken story was too funny and I couldn't wait. The following night, it happened again. My ability to read his mind without him saying a word. It happened a few times actually, and I didn't know how I was doing it, but I didn't say anything. I was just experiencing life in that moment. Further along in my journey, it happened a few other times with other people, and then when I started working again with my clients, they would tell me that they could do it. And I believed them because it was also my truth. The interesting thing was that this piece of information from my clients was not the reason they would come to see me. These were average people struggling with other things, but in the ease of our interactions, these hidden truths would come out. I also had it happen to me where my clients were able to see right through me without me having to say a single word. Any subtle changes within me they picked up on quickly. I was amazed, and it wasn't only with my clients. It was also with the people I knew and worked with on a regular basis. People who were afraid to share their truth out loud with these unique experiences for fear of judgment, fear of ridicule, of being labeled something different by dominant culture, especially in my line of work. It was fascinating to hear the variation in how this was experienced for each of them, so unique to the individual, different than mine but also similar. This ability to read through people, how it was that I could easily build a trusting relationship with them to where they would bare their soul with me, I don't know. That was always something that I embodied, this ability to be in the presence of people and them feeling a pull towards me, this need for them to share the deepest, darkest parts of themselves without me having to do much. I later attribute it to having Pluto in my first house, the house of the self and how you present yourself to the world. On top of that, I'm a Libra rising, so balance is what I seek to exist in and maintain. You see, Pluto is known to be the planet of the underworld, of intense transformation by shedding the old you in order to be reborn. Pluto is known to dive deep, deep into the soul, to bring out the shadow for healing, for balance. This is just one of many ways to describe the impact of Pluto, and it explains the ongoing intense transformative experiences I've had over the last few years, documented on my other channel where my heart and soul is left for the world to see. My transformation was evident in the surprise of those who knew the old me when they saw and experienced the new me. I was changing and changing quickly. Since that moment of heightened emotional experience where I was able to read other people's minds, I have now leveled out. At least I think I have. My intuitive knowing has transformed into something else. Now my ability is such that I can tell when people are holding back information. It just presents itself to me in a different way. So, is it true that people can read minds? Yes, it is. Not everyone can, but some who fall on that side of the spectrum can, as do those who sway to that side as they find their own balance, especially those with an intense emotional connection to pain and life. Society continues to evolve, and I believe that more and more of us will continue to develop this heightened awareness of seeing right through one another, everyday people who are destined to evolve and expand, who are destined to be different. But isn't that all of us? Aren't we all destined to transform ourselves into the people we want to become? Into something different and new? I appreciate the evolvement of my experiences and the people who've crossed my path to share experiences with me, and I will continue to appreciate existing in the middle of life as it evolves and unfolds. Because processing energy is just one of many ways we experience life, and the things that people do not see but can only feel. Every time I walk down the streets, I make sure to look all around me in appreciation for the varying degrees of diversity on this beautiful, interconnected, ever-evolving spectrum called life. My name is Yubi, and this is my transformed truth. You are watching You Becoming Healed, where I model and teach you how to own and transform your truth for healing. Until next time. Don't forget to join our weekly Q&A groups to ask your questions and learn how to better navigate your healing journey. Just to recap, we have the Dream Decoders group on Mondays, the Balanced Healing group on Wednesdays, and the Body Experts group on Fridays. Can't decide which one to join? No problem. Consider our core membership option, which gives you access to all three. All three groups start at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The links are found in the description box below. See you there!